Thanks so much for joining me today on Handmade Happy Hour. Today I'm going to do some denim makeovers. We're going to get started by doing a lesson on hemming. It's back to school season and I had to hem almost all of my daughter's jeans. So I'm going to teach you how to hem jeans. I'm also going to teach you how to create some cute cutoffs with that tattered look like all the stores in the mall have. And I'm going to show you how I added some lace trims to some shorts that were just a little bit too short. All right, let's get started with the jean hemming. You want to start by pre-washing your jeans and make sure you're wearing shoes when you mark where you want the hem to be. You can see here I'm cutting off quite a bit. Once I have my hemline marked, I'm going to mark down 1.5 inches from my pinned line. The pinned line is where I want my hem to actually be. So for this pair, that means I'm cutting an inch off of the jeans. So I'm going to cut an inch off all the way around. And I'm going to do this to both of the legs. So you can see I'm using the other piece as a guide. It's not so hard when you're doing 1 inch, but when you're doing a larger one, it's much easier. Then I'm going to fold back a 1/2 inch. When doing denim, I like to do 1.5 inches if possible because it's such thick material. So I'm going to iron back the 1/2 inch, working all the way around the hem of the jeans. These ones are a little bit tricky because they have that really pretty stud detail, but I did have to pluck those off, so I'll show you that. So I'm just going to go ahead and pluck that off because I'm not going to be able to sew through that and it's making it hard for the fold over to happen. So I'm just going to pluck that off and go ahead and iron the 1/2 inch all the way around. And then I'm going to fold it 1 inch. I love using a little ruler like that because it's got the slider bar, so it makes it really easy. So we're going to go all the way around. First it was a 1/2 inch and then we're going to fold it and iron 1 inch. So that's the 1.5 inches that we marked from our original pin line. So I'm using clips, but you can use pins, and you're going to repeat this process on both legs. And now we're going to sew. So we're sewing. You want to have a slightly elongated stitch. Do a little back stitch there. And for these jeans, I did go around it twice. My kids are pretty hard on their clothes. So I'm going just at the top there, and that is right where that ironed line is. So go up over those heavy seams and sew all the way around, then do a few more back stitches, and then I went around it one more time, and that gives it the really cool looking double stitched row. Go ahead and sew right up to the end there, back stitch, and then I repeat that process to get that double hem look. I think she likes it. And I did this for a second pair of jeans too. Like I said, we had to cut everything off. All right, let's do those tattered jeans. I had some jeans that were not a great fit, so we're gonna go ahead and cut them off. I pinned them a little bit longer than where she wants them. And then I cut the leg off, and just like I did on the hemming, I'm using that leg that I cut off as a guide. So we're gonna go ahead and place that piece there and then cut off. When you're making a tattered jean, you wanna make sure that you cut it about a 1/2 inch longer than where you want it so that you can have room for the fraying. You see, I'm just going in with a pin and then pulling just to create that frayed edge. The real magic happens once you wash the jean shorts. And I'm gonna go ahead and create a few little slits. I'm just cutting a couple of random slits, and I'm gonna do the same thing by sort of pre-starting the fray on those. Just gonna go ahead and kind of use my fingernail or a pin to kind of break up some of those threads. Now, I saw at the store, these tattered shorts were no joke, $60. So this was a thrift shop pair of jeans for $4 and a cute little mommy makeover. I think this is a pretty good bargain. She got her fashion tattered jeans, but for a fraction of the cost. Go ahead and add a few more slits. So you're just gonna pull on those edges and then you're gonna machine wash and dry them. You're going to probably need to trim off some of the threads after they come out of the dryer, but these turn out so cute and Sophia was thrilled with her little fashion shorts. If you look here, you can see how tattered they are. I did end up trimming up some of those threads there. And I did a second pair. She was so happy. Okay, now these shorts, these were so cute. I picked these up at JCPenney's. They were for Taylor Swift night, but my goodness, they were really short. So I found this brown trim that matched the brown thread, and I'm just gonna sew that to the bottom. I'm just pinning that on. So I'm pinning it on the inside of the shorts. You could easily do this on the outside too, but these shorts have a really cute little tattered edge already. So I thought, why not show off that little tattered edge still? So I went ahead and pinned it to the inside. I'm gonna remove that part of my sewing machine so I just have the arm there. And then I'm sewing right along that edge. And you can see that tattered edge. It's a very cute little look. These washed up beautifully. I will say that I did pre-wash this trim and I ironed it. So if there was any shrinkage that already happened. So if you're using a cotton trim, make sure you wash it first. Very simple to stitch along that edge. You can do a single row of stitches or you could do a double row if you wanted to. Sorry, my hand is blocking a little bit there. Very simple, very easy to do this. And again, got a little bit of extra length on those short shorts. So cute and fun. And these star shorts were from JCPenney's. All right, there you go. I've got 3 quick denim makeover ideas. I hope that these ideas have inspired you to chop up your jeans and hem them. I'll be back here next week with another fun video to share with you. Until then, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm happy to help. Have a great crafty week. Bye.